Hello everybody, and welcome to our Intersex Day of Remembrance event. This year's a little bit different. We're not doing a live stream. This is actually a pre-recorded event, and this way we have a little bit more ability to have speakers and performances and information from outside of the house, since we're currently in kind of COVID restrictions. So we will be doing our typical candle lighting, as well as we'll have some music, and there will be some spoken word. So one of the things that you may have noticed is that we're calling our event Intersex Day of Remembrance, and this event is also known as Intersex Day of Solidarity. We have chosen to call it Intersex Day of Remembrance because we think it's very important, and specifically because as people who are in the global north and in the west, our experiences are very different than some of our intersex family in the global south or in the east or in different areas of the world. And it's very, very easy for us to default Intersex Day of Remembrance and turn it into Intersex Day of Solidarity, which then sort of becomes a Intersex Awareness Day celebration part 2. And while celebrations are great and Intersex Awareness Day is very, very important, Intersex Day of Remembrance is also very important. And it's very important because we really, really need to have a moment where we can reflect on not only our history and intersex people that we've lost in the past, but the ongoing violence and ongoing harms and deaths that have been happening to intersex people around the world. So that's one of the reasons why we have chosen to call this our Intersex Day of Remembrance. And we encourage other people to be mindful and also consider adapting a moment where you have an intersex moment of remembrance within your Intersex Day of Solidarity. So normally I would hold a candle and light it and talk to you about it. Our candle lighting is going to work a little bit different this year because we are doing video, and I will focus in on the candles so we can really, really stay focused, and so that it doesn't center me, but centers the candles instead. So we'll get started. The first candle we're lighting tonight is in honor of Herculine Barbon. Intersex Day of Remembrance is observed on November 8th. This date was chosen to commemorate the birthday of Herculine Barbon, who was a French intersex person. Herculine Barbon was assigned female at birth and raised in a convent. Later, after having pains in their abdomen, they were discovered to be anatomically intersex and were subjected to several invasive medical examinations. Those examinations led to Herculine Barbon being forcibly, legally reclassified as male. Most of what we know about Herculine Barbon's life we know from their memoirs. Herculine Barbon died by suicide in February of 1868. The next candle that we're going to light is the yellow candle. With this candle, we remember infants who died by infanticide because they were born intersex. We remember children and adults who died by violence because their intersex bodies were seen as different. We also use this candle to remember those who have not died by violence, but who may die by violence. Those who are currently incarcerated for no reason other than being born with an intersex body. We use this candle to remember intersex asylum seekers and refugees who are fleeing threats of violence and death, those who may die trying to reach safer spaces. We use this candle to acknowledge and remember that this violence and these threats of death disproportionately affect our Black intersex family, our Indigenous intersex family, and intersex people of color.
My name is Stalina, and I'm a poet. I wrote this poem because I'm a woman who has too much androgen, and this poem is published in the Acentos Review. It's called Name and Tumor Removed. Invisible polluters, no shiny scalpel, the eye desaparece, your dorsal skin befuddled, you turn your back, expose the pores, burn red, the cells comfort, mutate, mal. Your toxin-induced hormonal shift minimizes your androgen. Your male hormones shrink, personify an undeveloped coup. Mijo, despierta. Your dove segment needs more vocal cords. Silence. Chemicals burn a non-penis, or so you perceive your androgen to think so. I want. I love. After surgery, the doctor said, you scar well.
The last candle is the purple candle, and this candle represents parts of us that have been taken away. This candle represents body parts, gonads, parts of us that have been altered or removed, parts of us that have been the recipients of irreversible harms. This candle represents innocence lost. It represents time stolen away from our childhood. It represents dignity stolen away. This candle represents loss of sensation, of pleasure. This candle is the theft of our human rights, the theft of our voices and our bodily autonomy.
Leave my body alone. Leave my body alone. Leave my body alone. Leave my body alone. My mommy and daddy, they love me but can't see. Leave my body alone. They see me, you see me, but you need to know me. Leave my body alone. Doctors are treating the parents as the patient, not the child. Treat me when I'm older, my consent as God. I decide. I say now forced, unnecessary surgeries. My body is different. Yes, leave my body alone. Embrace the difference. I said now leave my body alone. Doctors are treating the parents as the patient, not the child. Treat me when I'm older, my consent as God. I decide. I say not forced, unnecessary surgeries, education. Yes, leave my body alone. Awareness, leave my body alone. Acceptance, accept me, yeah. I said now leave my body alone. Forced, unnecessary surgeries. So doctors and parents and talking heads, leave my body alone. I think for myself, with consent I decide, so leave my body alone. Because I'm happy as I am, I'm happy as I am, so leave my body alone. I said now leave my body alone. My intersex body alone. Leave my body alone. Leave my body alone.
All the candles have been lit, but there's still one more group to remember. For Intersex Day of Remembrance, we can't forget that violence sometimes doesn't look like physical violence by the hands of another. Sometimes violence looks like pushing someone and harming them so much that they die by suicide. So for this last group, we don't light a candle. Instead, we do something symbolic. We'll blow out the candles to represent lives that were extinguished too soon. And as we watch the smoke rise, so should we be empowered to rise, to raise our voices, to raise our signs, to raise our flags, to raise our fists, and continue on doing the work until there's not a need for any more Intersex Day of Remembrance. Thank you for joining us for our Intersex Day of Remembrance event. I hope that you are able to take a moment to really reflect and that you can use this as a way to sort of reignite yourself into supporting the community and doing education and outreach and acting in solidarity.